Thank you, Nancy. Hello again, Flabo family. It is now 2 years, almost midterm. I remember when I used to go to school, we had a midterm test, where when it became midterm, we had to grade you, and then at the end of term, you have the big test. This one is just a midterm test. When the election comes, it will be the big test. But let me ask you a simple question. Are you better off today under Labour than you were when UWP was in office? The St. Lucia Labour Party has the audacity to say that they are celebrating today, 2 years after the victory. So, they are celebrating the fact that they pulled off a bluff on St. Lucia. They are celebrating the fact that they got a country that was thriving and doing well for them by the United Workers' Party that they are squandering. What exactly is it that they are celebrating? They asked St. Lucians to protect the victory. Like I said earlier, what victory? It is a victory for them, but a loss for St. Lucia and misery for us. And we have to bear in mind, because it is not the first time it has happened to us. I recall vividly when we were doing very well between 2006, 2011, all kinds of projects in all of the constituencies. We were able to navigate the then economic crisis of 2007, 2008. But the Labour Party came and promised St. Lucia's better days. We fell for it. We saw our mistake, and in 2016 we brought back the United Workers' Party. Then came the United Workers' Party, again putting our shoulders to the wheel. We were able in no time to reduce unemployment in this country. We began the infrastructural development to lay the foundation for economic and social development in St. Lucia through our road projects, through our sporting infrastructure, through the repairs and building of schools, and all of the programs that we had put in place, like the after-school programs, the e-book program for school children, and all of those things that we had begun to unroll. And of course, unfortunately for us, like I always say, then came COVID. COVID interrupted the development program and the thrust that we had going on for the advancement of St. Lucia at the time. That did not deter us. Our generation, generations before us, had never seen anything such as that pandemic called COVID-19. And what did we do? We were among the world leaders in terms of our handling of the disease of the pandemic COVID-19. Barbados and all of those other countries were wondering what it is we were doing in St. Lucia to be able to manage the health situation and at the same time to keep people's livelihood going. I remember the first person I heard that phrase from, managing lives and livelihood. And that we had to coexist with COVID, Alan Michael Shasley. And so we did an admirable job keeping down the number of deaths from COVID. We did a magnificent job reopening the economy as soon as possible. Okay? Getting tourists to start coming to St. Lucia again way before any of the other islands, and at the same time controlling health situations of St. Lucians. As soon as the St. Lucia Labour Party assumed office, and let's not forget they got into office during COVID. They got into office during COVID-19. As soon as they came in, about 400 St. Lucians just died one after the other. Okay? That is the kind of mismanagement and bad governance that we have been experiencing from them. You all forget those things. Do not forget what the current Prime Minister said when he was in opposition. When Alan Michael Shasley, Dominic Fede, people in the economic ministry like Guy Joseph and the rest of us decided that we were going to start to put things in place to reopen the economy, and that we were going to get visitors to begin to come back to St. Lucia. His words were, Only the United Workers' Party government and Alan Chasney believe tourism will ever recover and be what it was again. Today, he is riding and extracting the benefit of that vision of the United Workers' Party. That is what has the economy where it is. And so when he talked about experiencing positive growth in 2022 and in 2023, it is as a result of the vision and the work of the United Workers' Party he experienced that. And so I am very proud to be associated with this United Workers' Party. I stand strong with the United Workers' Party because I know in my heart that that is the party, St. Lucia and St. Lucians. Whenever, I have said it many times and I'm going to say it again, whenever Labour is in office, we experience hardship. Whenever Flambeau is in office, progress and development is what we experience. And so let us examine the performance of the St. Lucia Labour Party to date. Now, I don't want to be biased. I want to give them the credit first, and then I'm going to criticize them. And here's the credit I have to give them. Thank God they decided to keep one or two of the projects that we started. They are completing the Orange Grove Mall. You know, the tourism that we opened up, and they said that we should shut down the country and prevent visitors from coming. Thank God they followed our plan. They didn't do that. And so any success that they're experiencing now is as a result of the work of the United Workers' Party. So let's talk about what they promised us and what they have done. Let's begin with the little things. When our economy was shut down, nothing was happening. No tourists coming in, no money flowing, no goods being imported. Nothing is happening. The United Workers' Party paid the public servants of St. Lucia their full salary. During that time, we decided that since people are not traveling, nothing is happening in the main sector of our economy, we decided to keep the economy going. We rolled out our road projects. We already had a plan to improve our road infrastructure, and we had put in place that 150 on gas, especially for maintenance and development of roads. So we rolled out a road project. You saw roads being built and being repaired in St. Lucia like you never ever saw before in your lives. And you know what the result was? Not only did you have a better ride, you know there were places people couldn't even walk, let alone drive. After that, it was less time to get home, a comfortable ride to get home, less money spent on car parts, and your properties increase in value. And along with that, we were laying down the foundation for the development of the economy when we would have built our new airport in Beaufort, when we would have established a new seaport for cruise ships, for home porting cruise ships in Beaufort, when we would have had the DSH in the south, when we would have expanded with projects like Cabot and other hotel developments in the north. The road network to accommodate that was already being established. And what did they do? They stopped the road development in Rodney Bay. With the result that today, we have all kinds of traffic congestion to the north. And of course, we have to spend a lot of money to continue that project because they breached the contract and they have to pay the contractors and then hire a new contractor and pay more money to do the job. That is the kind of vision and management that they have. Now, while we were doing all of this in the heights of COVID, you know what they were telling you? We had an economy that was totally decimated by COVID. But we were paying the public servants their salary. We were giving assistance to the poor and needy in this country. We were giving assistance, employment assistance to people who had lost their jobs. We were giving $500 to help people meet their daily needs during that time. You know what the current Prime Minister said? That is not enough. If a St. Lucia Labour Party government was to get into office, they would triple it and give you $1,500. Vous savez, nous ne pas supposé ni meeting ça ici à Rodia. Nous tout est supposé descendre miku et faire au nous $1,500. These are the kind of bluffs they pull on St. Lucian. Cabot, remember, was the worst project. Cabot would bankrupt NIC. They took a loan from NIC, which they have paid back with interest to the benefit of NIC, which returns to the benefit of St. Lucians. Okay? That project now is a project that is employing people and enhancing our product as a tourist destination. They are there now drinking champagne, okay, and eating steak. That is a project where they protested. Jack Cabell on my beach. I'm tempted to say, you're a son of a... And, you know, these are the bluffs they pulled over us. We cannot forgive them for that. You do not gain people's confidence and support. You do not gain people's votes through deceit. Come clean, present a plan, and let the people vote for you on the merit of that plan. But what? They didn't have any plan. You remember their only plan was to beat PAN? Their only plan was to beat PAN. Now recently I saw some of them beating a PAN. I saw them beating a PAN recently, PAN hot vid toujours. You know. And they will continue to beat PAN until the United Workers' Party returns to office. Because we have a plan for the development of this country that we have presented to St. Lucians, and you know, when we are in office, we implement and we produce. Check what has happened in the constituencies. Throughout the length and breadth of St. Lucia. Well, Soufrière stands out a little more. Castries Southeast stands out a lot. Ancillary countries, but don't forget what happened in Gros Islet, what happened in Babonneau in terms of development of your constituencies. Do not forget that. That only happens under the United Workers' Party. I was tempted to say 2 years ago that Stephenson King was among the best minister for infrastructure in this country. But somebody remind me, wait, he's still the infrastructure minister, let us see. After 2 years, what are we seeing? So c'est pas Stephenson King, it was the United Workers' Party. And so when it comes to delivering, we have delivered and we are ready. We stand ready to continue to deliver to you, the people of St. Lucia, exactly what it is that you deserve. So let us grade them on what they have done. Have they given you your 1,005? You know what they are giving you? Now some people say, give them a chance. I was on a program Wednesday, they say, give them a chance. After 2 years, give them a chance. Half of the term is almost gone. Give them a chance. But finally, they will be doing something this week. They will be doing something this week. But what they'll be doing? Imposing 2.5% levy on you. Okay? And they say it is a levy for security and health. Huh? And so, when they do that, you know what's going to happen? The price of all commodities that is subjected to VAT will rise. The price of many other things that are not exempted from that tax will rise, making life hard for you. I hear you all complaining our cost of living is high. You all ain't seen nothing yet. You all ain't seen nothing yet. And don't forget, we removed 2.5% on the VAT and brought it down to 12.5%. They wanted to bring it back, but they're pretending they're not touching the VAT, so they're going to a 2.5 levy for health and security. All those gimmicks on these guys. But you know what happened? If the VAT was 15%, it's less 12.5% plus the 2.5% on top of it. So they are making life even harder for St. Lucians. And let me tell you what you have achieved under the St. Lucia Labour Parties thus far. Okay, when we talk about high cost of living and when we talk about quality of life, the price of bread has gone up. The price of bread has gone up. The price of electricity has gone up. That means at home, you have to spend more money on bills. If you have a business, you have to spend more money on overheads, making things difficult for you to survive. Okay? Gas prices went down on the world market, but they kept the price of gas around $17 here in St. Lucia. While neighboring islands was able to bring down the price to reflect what the world market was, they were extorting money from you, keeping the price of gas way up there. And then they go and boast about they make $70 million, excess in revenue on the backs of St. Lucians. This is a government that has no conscience. This is a government that does not care about you. And that is why the United Workers' Party is letting you know and informing you now that instead of putting you first, the St. Lucia Labour Party has put you worse. And so, I don't want to take too much time because we started a little late and we have other speakers to come. Our chairman has to address you and our other deputy political leader has to address you. And so let us get the tests out of the way. Well, they have been put to the test and let us assess their performance. So we're grading them. Now you can give them an A, B, C, D, E, or F. When it comes to the cost of living in St. Lucia, what grade do you give them? The price of bread going up. What about the tax that is coming on your back this week? Hiwanora Airport, has it started? What grade do you give them for that? What about the seaport in Viewfort for cruise ships? What about the roads that were going on so well in this country? What grade do you give them for that? Okay, what about the handling of the passport situation? Now let's stop here for a moment. Let's stop here for a moment. Because they teacher can just make a grade on the paper F. But they come here T note. You come here T note now. And me a T note la. And me a T note by you. You increase the cost of our passport. You say to increase security so that countries that issue visas to us will accept our passport as being secure. And now we are hearing that we are about to be told that we need visas to go to the UK when under UWP you did not need that. So parce que en parmi hot ni moun ki pa ni visa, hot parmi les si less than pa ni visa. What about the handling of the CIP program where the government of St. Lucia is supposed to present a report to the parliament on the receipt of revenue and how the money is spent? What grade do you give them for that? Now, Messi, let's get serious now. Let's get serious now. When I said that we are living in fear in this country, the Minister of National Security, the Minister of Housing, and some others took objection to it. Today, we are afraid in this country because of the level of gun violence and crime that is taking place in this country. So when it comes to the handling of crime in this country, what grade do you give the St. Lucia Labour Party? And let me say something about crime. Let me say something about crime. I kept calling on the Minister of National Security, sir, if you do not have the answers and you do not have a clue, appoint somebody else to do the job. Iwetela, ukani 5 moun kamo adan yon weekend. Alan Chasney c'est pas Prime Minister encore. Nathan voit Alan Chasney avant moi tan voit Prime Minister, avant moi tan voit Minister of National Security. That is unacceptable. And when the media approaches the Minister of National Security, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, and asks you about crime, your best answer so far is, "Moi pas police, papa moi kite police." So ça veut dire il m'a dit bye-bye. Hote vote bye-bye. Eh bien c'est mon qui le vote balia, qui ga dit il m'a dit bye-bye là. Moi hope hot réaliser. Les hote vote balia hote ni espoir mal bye-bye. So, I said, I personally, just like all of you flambeaus, have a serious problem with the fact that my freedom in this country is being threatened by criminal activity. Parce que hot changer, c'est criminel la ferme vieux fort. Yo me curfew en les gens vieux fort. OK? Criminal me curfew en les gens vieux fort. Là était 6 heures pas personne en ville vieux fort. C'est criminel la ferme l'école. Et c'est criminel la ferme business. That happened right here in St. Lucia under the nose of the Prime Minister. Only thing that we heard from him was that he'll bring RSS. Who's up to RSS V4? Which means you do not have the answer and your plans are not working. And so, when I see the poor handling of crime, I warned that this would threaten our economic survival in St. Lucia. Folks, I don't know whether you realize it, it is happening already. When France, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, can issue an advisory to the citizens to tell them, be careful about going to St. Lucia because St. Lucia is a dangerous place and you're not safe and secure when you go to St. Lucia. That will affect our tourism. Parce que pour les autres, but nous Gros Islet et Babonneau, qui dépend de ces matniquins pour venir St.Lucia, pour venir spend l'argent pour nous faire un petit dollar. Ça qui est guest house, ça qui est restaurant, we depend on that business. And now there's an advisory. So when I was warning and saying to them that would be the result, here it is. But you know what? Instead of doing something about it, they do best. Blame. So what? You guys blame flambeau for shortcomings you, for shortfalls you. So the Prime Minister, in true fashion, said that it was the media, first of all, how they were reporting crime, and the opposition who were making irresponsible statements. And because of what we were saying, the matter put on the advisory. But moi, ça, monsieur, on a dit, c'est mon qui parle about crime. Moi, je warn the Prime Minister, Minister of National Security. Il pas pour warning naturellement, il veut blâmer nous. Bon, ben, d'où ça qui fait là, moi, défense comme moi. C'est pas moi qui dit c'est matnicien, moi, je vais mauvais. Les bagailles viennent mauvais, fort, et puis pas ça pour faire écuyer, c'est même matnicien ça là. Okay? So they have first-hand knowledge. Juste chien matnik qui décide de cicatrice où les gourmets crime. Okay? So they have first-hand knowledge of what is taking place here. It's not UWP that told them. Okay? So, fix the problem. Instead of celebrating and protecting the victory, protect the people of St. Lucia. Protect the economy of St. Lucia. Protect the reputation of St. Lucia. These are the things that need to be protected, and that is what we are prepared to defend and protect given the opportunity once again. And so, ladies and gentlemen, never mind all the hoorah that is taking place today in Miku. We know who is who. We know what is what. They have failed us. They have failed us miserably. They have failed us miserably. And so I say to you, you have kept our hope alive. Keep the faith and see us through till the end. Because come the next election, you will get liberation. Liberation from fear, liberation from criminal activity, and you will start to live a good life in this country once again. Because our primary concern, your freedom, your safety, and your quality of life. And the United Workers' Party has a plan and has what it takes, the men and women who can deliver on those promises and make sure your life gets better. But kusang I want not. Let nous fin faire ça après 5 ans. Pas quitter Charles Kenezot encore. Let vini, we shall do this, we shall do that, we shall. Pas quitter Charles Kenezot encore. Because we have to protect our country and continue to develop the country. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for the faith you have kept in this party. I want to thank all the different arms and organizations of this party. I want to thank our people in the diaspora, support that they have been giving us. And I want to ask you to continue to stand in defense of your country and continue to stand to ensure the continued development of your country by bringing back the the United Workers' Party under Alan Michael Chasney.